Hi, my name is Kara Ligda, and I want to tell you my personal experience with explicit bias. This is the time that I was the recipient of explicit bias. I was about 45 years old, and this happened in about 2018. It happened during the day, and I was at my orthopedic surgeon's office to have my knee looked at. I was by myself. It was a private space, and it's just me and the doctor. So it started off with me having severe knee pain in my left knee, and I needed to have it looked at because it was to the point where it was causing me mobility issues. So I went to an orthopedic surgeon that had done surgery on my right knee prior, and I trusted him. He was very good at what he did, and I just thought I would go back to him. So I originally had knee surgery from him maybe 10 years ago, so this is now 10 years later. But he did remember me and asked how I was doing, and wanted me to have some x-rays. So I went in, had x-rays of my left knee, and came back and waited in the office alone. And he basically came in and took one quick look at the x-ray and told me that he wasn't willing to do anything with my knee because I am overweight. And he felt that I needed to take care of my weight first, and that he wasn't willing to help me. And he suggested weight loss surgery and all these other things. And I was just in total shock and wanted just help. It's just been very hard to get around. Obviously, I'm not happy being overweight. I know that I could lose weight. But he just treated me with such disdain and lack of care, and it was really heartbreaking. He explained that I have arthritis in my left knee, but he wasn't willing to help me with that. Just basically said, take Advil and come back when you lost weight. And so I left, and I didn't say anything after him. I said thank you, and I left the appointment. I felt a little sad, and called my husband and explained the story to him, and he basically said, wow, he just fat shamed you. And I hadn't thought about that. I've read about overweight women being fat shamed. I haven't specifically experienced this, so this was my first experience with that. And it was really hard. And I already struggle with my own self-worthiness issues around being overweight. I've been overweight most of my adult life, and I've dieted and lost weight, but this just really set me back a whole bunch. And it was really heartbreaking. When I talked to my therapist about it, she too also said that he fat shamed me and suggested I see another doctor. I wanted to have the relief on my left knee so that I could be more mobile and to be able to walk and do exercise without pain, but now I felt like I had no avenue to do that either. There was nobody in the room with me. It was just me and the doctor, and it was just hard. I've read about overweight women struggling with doctor's appointments and being fat shamed, and I guess I thought it would never happen to me, and when it did, it was really hard. And that, it's just been a struggle. I didn't feel unsafe during the experience. I just felt uncared for and not listened to and just shut out, basically. When it happened, when it happened, I was in shock and I felt ashamed. I felt ashamed that I let myself go. I felt ashamed that I couldn't do anything to make this better. I just felt pretty horrible about myself. And I I see a therapist, and I spoke to her about it, and she had suggested that I find another doctor and suggested some doctors that she knew of. But I haven't gone back to have my knees looked at. I still live with pain in my knees. I take Advil. I work as a toddler teacher, so I am up and down constantly. So I am constantly reminded of the pain in my knees. I've thought about weight loss surgery. I've, looked at diets, but it's just been difficult. There wasn't really any resolution. Like I said, I haven't gone back to the doctor to have my knees looked at. I pretty much have no cartilage left in my left knee, and will probably need knee replacement surgery, but I worry that if I talk to anybody about that I won't get I won't get the help and the knee replacement. I think they'll just turn me down again because of being overweight. Um, I don't know how that I would have handled this differently. I think when I look at it, I would have been, maybe it had gone differently if my husband would have been there with me. Maybe he would have said something and spoken up. I haven't really asked him that or not, but maybe it would be something to look into, to say, hey, how do you remember that call I made to you, and would you have done anything differently in the appointment? He said he felt sad for me when I told him that I couldn't get help, and that he was frustrated too by the doctor. The life lesson I learned, the biggest thing for me is I just need to advocate better for myself. I know that doctors aren't perfect, and certainly not all of them. I have a very good general practitioner, and she has never fat shamed me once in my meetings with her. I guess the other life lesson is lose weight. And possibly that will be something I will be doing in the next year. But I think first things first is I need to speak up for myself. I'm still learning that I'm worthy of help and support regardless of how my body looks today. And I want to make sure that I'm worth the self-care. If I was teaching young children on the importance of equality, I think the activity I came up with is that I would present them with different size paper dolls, skinny, fat, tall, short, differently abled, and just talk about, the experience of children, what they see when they see those types of bodies, if there's any feelings or ideas that come up for them, and maybe, not specifically pointed at the fat person, but, say, well, what do you think when you see a larger body? Do you think they're deserving of the same respect as somebody that might be a thinner body? Just basically to teach them that, no matter what you look like, that you're still worthy of care and respect. After reflecting on this experience, I have mixed feelings. I think I feel sadness that I was treated like that, and I also feel angry that doctors can feel so cavalier to just write people off. I feel like I failed myself and not lost much weight since the experience, and maybe the doctor is right. The other thing I came up with too is that I view doctors as authority figures, and they must be right all the time. And it's been pointed out that doctors make mistakes, that they're not perfect, and that they're really not meant to be authority figures. They're humans just like you and me. And the doctor isn't always right, and it's okay to seek a second opinion. This experience has informed how I view myself and how I seek medical treatment. A lot of the time these days, I won't see the doctor unless it's an absolute urgent need. I have missed probably quite a few yearly wellness appointments because I've been afraid to go back to the doctor. I have had to see the doctor earlier this year in March because I thought I had COVID-19 and I got tested, but thankfully it was negative. But I was quite ill, and it was the one time that I was forced to seek medical treatment, and I still don't like going to the doctor. I still have struggles, but, I'm going to be 47 years old this year. And, I want to be a model for my two daughters. I want them to know it's good to take care of yourself and show them how to do yearly medical things. But in order to do that for them, I need to start doing that for myself. So this exercise has been a real lesson that I need to start taking better care of myself regardless of what one doctor's opinion is. So I'm really grateful that I had this experience. I hope that I'm able to reclaim my worthiness and space in the world, and know that I'm worth it today. So I appreciate having this experience. Thank you for listening to my explicit bias experience, and I look forward to hearing yours. Thank you.